Hello and welcome to another episode here at Larry's Orchids. Today we're covering a Q&A question that we get a lot, and that is based around the idea of using sphagnum moss for growing orchids. A lot of times we get the question, hey Luke, can we grow a Phalaenopsis orchid in sphagnum moss? I see it at the store, I got my plant here, can I continue growing it in there? And we always stress never to use sphagnum moss on a Phalaenopsis orchid or any epiphytic orchid. Now the difference between epiphyte and terrestrial is that terrestrial means it grows like in ground. It's terrestrial, it grows on the ground, meaning it comes in contact with soil. And so vanilla, for instance, is a great example of a terrestrial orchid. It can handle those very moist conditions that are offered with sphagnum moss. However, if you put a epiphytic orchid, being like your Cattleya, your Phalaenopsis, this is an epidendrum here. They are more tree orchids. They hang on the side of trees in very tropical, 100% humidity environments. So they're going to benefit from the moisture that the bark offers, but if you keep them moist for too long, they're going to start rotting, which is why you can't have sphagnum moss around there. Also, another thing is, yes, you do get orchids that have been packed with sphagnum moss. That's because a lot of times, maybe at a big box store, they don't water all that often, and sphagnum moss does hold water very well. So if you're someone that forgets to water for a long period of time, it's going to give it some saving grace where it's not going to die. Whereas with the bark, it does dry out. However, when it comes to repotting, that's what we like to focus on, is when it comes to repotting, it is so crucial to remove the old growing medium. And a lot of times the roots have broken down the growing medium, turned them into soil, because that's what happens. It breaks down and decomposes. And when it becomes soil, it holds water very, very well. And sphagnum moss already holds water very, very well. So you have something that already held water well, and now it's holding water even better. And that's what leads to root rot very quickly, is the fact that you have some remaining broken down growing medium in those roots, because the roots will kind of encompass all that growing medium, whereas the bark stays kind of chip-like even when it's broken down. So you can get your fingers in there, wiggle it out, and make sure that when you repot, you can remove all of that, whereas it's very difficult to do that with sphagnum moss. So that's why we stress using the bark medium over sphagnum moss. That's what we like to do, and that's what we're pushing here, because we find that it leads to a very healthy, a lot more success rate when you're growing your orchids. So I hope you enjoyed this Q&A video. Hopefully it helped, and if it did, please click the subscribe button. That always helps us out. And also, if it helped you out, share it with a friend as well, because that always means a lot to us. And also, if you're interested in buying both terrestrial or epiphytic orchids, we do sell both here at Larry's Orchids. And until next episode, I'll talk to you later. This is Luke from Larry's Orchids, thanking you for making us the #1 stop shop for all your orchid and tropical needs. Take care, everyone. Bye.